Okay, you know guys, this episode really wasn't all that bad. And in my opinion, I think it was probably the best episode so far. But honestly, that's not really saying much. From some decent fight scenes to some cool character moments, and even some well-acting performances from more than one actor, this episode does a lot of things well. But you know, there's still a lot of bad storytelling, bad acting, and of course, bad dialogue. So let's get into the Acolyte episode 5, titled Night. We begin right where we left off from the last episode. Osha wakes up to find some Jedi being killed by the evil Force user with a red lightsaber. Now at this point, they still haven't confirmed what this evil red lightsaber user actually is. Are they just someone who uses the Force and has darkness, or are they actually a Sith? We will get to that. And right off the bat, we see some lightsaber fighting. And honestly, it's nice to see this, especially in a show that has Jedi all over the place. The evil bad guy starts taking out Jedi like it's nothing, even if they swing and miss like 3 times. Yeah, but you know what? I'll allow it, because I wasn't expecting this much death and brutality in this show. For them to stay true to George Lucas's lore, which they kind of destroyed already, they would have to kill off a whole bunch of Jedi who've seen this red lightsaber wielding person. And honestly, I didn't think they could do it. I didn't think they would kill off this many Jedi. But of course, I stand corrected. The evil Force user headbutts a lightsaber. Bold move, I guess. And then Yord comes in for the save and gets sliced in the leg. Wait. A lightsaber slash should kill him, right? Based off the new established Star Wars logic? I don't know. Who cares anymore? Osha runs away, and then May, still in the hut, looking over everything, takes Kanaka's lightsaber. Remember folks, she still wants to turn herself into the Jedi. The evil Force user throws his red lightsaber at a running Osha, and it's blocked by number 456 from the Squid Game. You know what? The more and more I watch this show, the more and more I become more attached to Soul, and I truly believe this should have been his show. I would much rather see a whole series about Soul and his journey and his upbringing. And I think it would be really interesting because that actor can carry a series. He has proven it. But obviously they don't have the best writers over at Lucasfilms. So yeah. But this isn't Soul's show, so let's go back to our main character and see what she has to say.
We have to go back. You're injured.
It's dialogue like this that makes me think the writers are writing for an audience of 4-year-olds. We just saw his leg get slashed. We don't need another line of dialogue to reaffirm what we just saw. Just have her look at his leg or something. It's as easy as that. This is a good example of what I mean when I say there's a lot of lines of dialogue where they over-explain shit. And that's part of the reason why this show is so terrible in my opinion. It's because when the characters open their mouths, it drops in quality. Moving on, as May is leaving the hut, she is jumped by Jackie, who tries to arrest her. Okay, so now May is changing her mind again, right? Because she wanted to turn herself into the Jedi, but now she's resisting arrest? Makes sense. The evil Force user decides to leave Soul to go get May and confront Jackie. And because Jackie is a strong female, possibly gay, character, she keeps up with the evil Force user. Even though, you know, she's a Padawan. But, I guess the Force is female now.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
The evil Force user then cuts one of her lightsabers, and she looks at it very intently. And then just like Batman, the evil Force user just kind of disappears. She eventually catches up with the evil person with Soul, and they have the best lightsaber fight since Revenge of the Sith, and that is according to Screen Rant. Yeah, I definitely don't agree with that. Don't get me wrong, it's a good lightsaber battle, but it's not the best since Revenge of the Sith. You see, what makes that lightsaber fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin so great is the emotion and the characters involved with that fight. You spent 3 movies with those characters, and finally it culminates in this very emotional, very powerful lightsaber fight. And there's no way I feel any sort of emotion like that with this fight scene in episode 5. I just don't care at all about these characters. And that's the fault of the showrunners and the writers. So when, spoiler alert, Jackie gets stabbed like 3 times, I don't feel anything because I really don't care. All I could think of when she got stabbed was, is that gonna kill her? Because we've seen people get stabbed before, but she got stabbed 3 times. She's dead, right? Now, right after Jackie dies, the big reveal happens. We see who this masked person is. And it's exactly what everyone predicted. It's Quamir, or Discount Ezra Miller. Huh. You know, I really thought that was too obvious here. I really thought the writers were really trying to misdirect us, but then again, that's giving too much credit to the writers of this show to have the ability to misdirect us. So, I guess it all makes sense. After this big reveal, Sol and Quamir have a pretty decent scene. And honestly, it's probably the most well-acted, well-performed scene of the entire series so far. And it's during this standoff where we finally confirm what this evil being is.
What are you?
But a Jedi like you might call me Sith.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Oh, okay, so he is a Sith. Okay. This is going to break a shit ton of canon, isn't it? So this basically confirms that Sith are around during this time, and somehow this story will be forgotten about by the time Phantom Menace rolls around.
I want a pupil, an acolyte.
Roll credits. He said the title. Please roll credits. Please end the show now. Unfortunately, it doesn't end, and Yord comes back because Osha told him it was the right thing to do. He immediately gets his neck snapped. Sol kicks some ass here and is ready to kill Quamir, but that's not the Jedi way, obviously. But you know what is the Jedi way? I'll tell you. It's letting these big moths kill the Sith. Now, I know what you're thinking, because I thought this too. These moths are attracted to light, and when she puts the light on his back, they're all attracted to him. But you know what else has light? Lightsabers. And weren't there just like a dozen of them lit up in the woods? I hate this show. Later on, Osha and May finally have a reunion, and it's just as bad as you think it is.
The Jedi got what they deserved. Those Jedi were more my family than you ever were. Have you forgotten who we are?
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
I hate to say it, but I'll say it. I do not care about these twins at all. I mean, yeah, you can boo me all you want, but I think the acting, the writing, and the performance of these characters is just awful and terrible. And May especially is driving me crazy in the show because she keeps flip-flopping like nothing. Her intentions in this episode alone changed like 10 times. First, I want to murder the Jedi, then I want to turn myself into the Jedi, and now I don't want to turn myself into the Jedi anymore, so I'm gonna resist this arrest. When I was younger, I wanted to kill my sister for becoming a Jedi and burn her in a fiery blaze of glory. And now when I see her, after all these years, I just want to hug her and team up with her. But now, oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to knock her out and take her identity. She really is just a wild card, and we really don't know where she's going with her plans at all. May decides to disguise herself as her twin sister, which I guess will get her off the planet and, you know, in the hands of the Jedi, because she ends up with Sol. But you know what? I'm excited to see how she flip-flops next. Maybe she just goes to Coruscant and just murders all the Jedi. Who knows? But before she sees Sol, she gives herself a nice girl boss haircut, and somehow when she sees Sol, he doesn't notice. Like, you don't smell the burnt hair, or that it's not cut like perfectly to Osha's character. I mean, to be fair, Sol just did see a Sith, so he's probably not thinking about that. But also, does he not see the cult like tattoo on her forehead? We learn that the Moss were no match for Discount Ezra Miller, and he's still alive and uses force healing to bring back Osha, and that's pretty much how the episode ends. Can't wait for next episode, because I honestly have no clue what's going to happen anymore. I was wrong about all my predictions. Pretty much every single one. I was wrong about them actually calling that guy a Sith. I was wrong about who that Sith was. And I didn't think they were going to kill that many Jedi. I mean, Jackie still probably could come back next episode. She did get stabbed with a lightsaber, but that doesn't mean she's dead. So like I said before, this episode is probably the best one yet, in my opinion. Some positives from this episode. I did enjoy the performance from Quamir and Sol. Having those two actors perform a well-acted scene together actually made me engage more with the episode. And then, of course, the other characters came in and completely ruined. And you know, the choreography for these lightsaber battles weren't perfect. but it was nice to see, and I enjoyed the brutality. I just wish we cared enough about these characters that this scene of them getting all killed enlist a emotional reaction from the audience. The show's over halfway through its first season, and it felt like it started pretty middle, and then the third episode came out and it dropped dramatically, and then these last two episodes are like taking one step at a time, getting back up to mediocrity. So in conclusion, this episode 5 of The Acolyte, has some promising moments and some promising fight scenes, but again, once the characters open their mouths, you know, the true colors shine through, and we see just how terrible writing still is in this show. But of course, at the end of the day, I do want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.